Welcome everyone to the Coaster Spot. Today we're going to do a full tour of Halloween Horror Nights 33 here in 2024. 10 houses, 4 IPs this year. The Monsters, Eternal, Bloodlines, Ghostbusters, Frozen Earth, Quiet Place, and Insidious. We're going to show you all the food, all the shows, and all the houses and scary zones, of course. Let's go. And as soon as you enter in to Horror Nights, you come to our first scare zone, the Duality of Fear. It is more or less, as you can hear, just a chainsaw board. Always love them. Traditionally they've been in Springfield, but today they're right at the front of the park. So if you're scared of chainsaws, you're not gonna make it very far. Ooh, creepy. We are gonna go around the park clockwise, but first we're gonna show you this scare zone. Located in the Hollywood section is gonna be Demon Queens. Now, I like the sets, they're pretty cool. This one's also the scare zone that's easiest to just sit down on a bench and take it all in, either being scared or just watching other people be scared. What I really liked about this one is that earlier on, and still, that there are just so many of these guys. The costumes are somewhat simple sometimes, but I think it more than makes up for how many are going to attack you. Like, I feel like there's at least 20 people. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Ah. Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, they are everywhere. That is absolutely what I love about this scare zone. So many of them. I won't lie, usually I'm not too unsettled by scare actors, but the amount of them coming at you, with there not that many people in there, is creepy as hell. Loved it. This is probably my second favorite scare zone of the event. And of course, there is the studio store. We will show you that at the very end of the tour. We'll also show you the tribute store towards the end of the tour. We won't show you in the middle of it because we want to keep the video flowing. There are chapters so you can skip around. Our first house of 10, of course. As we mentioned, there are 6 original houses and 4 based on IPs. So the first is going to be Monstruos, Monsters in Latin America. Really huge sets going through Latin American type themes, great architecture, and monsters are pretty good. Some of the theater that was going on there was really fun to see, and I enjoyed it. But lower end of my rankings, I would say, for this one. A pro tip though, if it is raining, it's a great one to go to because it is completely inside for the queue. Also, save this one for later in the day because it always dies down. It is currently 12:30 and you can see it has a 10-minute wait when other things still do have a little bit of a wait. All right, let's move on to our next house in the New York Square area up here. Also, some other tips to make your day best here at Halloween Horror Nights is to stay and scream. You can either have that with a full day park ticket, annual pass, whatever you want to do. There's also an option to enter in 2 hours before at 3 p.m. That's about $58 with tax. That definitely helped me today so much. Highly suggest it. If you want to try to get all the houses done in one go, you go over and I suggest you start with the Figgins area, get 2 houses done as quickly as possible. For example, today, I did Insidious, and then I did Triplets of Terror, and then ran back to the back of the park and was able to do all the ones in the back really quickly and avoid the back before it got busy, and then just move around. And I was even able to do the show. Also, there are some rides available. You have Hollywood Rip Ride Rockets, you have the Mummy, and then you have the Harry Potter Escape from Gringotts available for you. As the event goes on, they might add more, but that is currently the lineup for you. Food is also a big thing here with the custom food themed to the different IPs. Here's our second house, A Quiet Place. Really enjoyed the movie, but I feel like they followed it too closely, so it kind of was a little boring in some ways. I know that was the complaint of like Stranger Things in some years, but I really enjoyed it. However, I just didn't like that all the monsters weren't actually costumed. They are huge monsters, so I can see why they went with kind of an animatronic or a puppet method of doing everything, but I wish it just had been a little bit more in your face with the monsters. But it follows the 2 movies, Quiet Place Part 1 and 2, very well. Cannot complain there. I highly suggest you watch the movies beforehand. You'll understand what's going on a lot better. Some of the haunted houses, I don't think it really requires you to know about anything, but this one really helps out, I think. And of course, the Minions Cafe is open for you the entire night. But our first thing is going to be Insidious themed food, and here is the menu. The Red Door, potato and onion filled ham pie, eggs and further. We're just gonna let you see these yourself. But if you want to hear the best opinions on food, of course, go over to the theme park foodies. I'll link them over here for their video at Horror Nights, because they know their food way better than I do. So they're the ones to tune in for food reviews all over Orlando, but especially Horror Nights. In the New York Central area, you have 2 different themed areas here. The first here is going to be the Twilight Tavern. Let's take a look at that food offering. Of course, there are bars all over the park. This is one of the biggest ones here. There's not a bar where Kids Zone used to be. That is not there anymore. So just be aware of that. And of course, what would it be Horror Nights without some Twisted Taters? They got it. And here is the varieties they have this year. Continuing around New York Square, we come to, of course, you gotta have a Ghostbusters themed food stand. This is the one I'm really excited to try out when we come down in a few weeks. So hit that bell for instant notification when the video comes out. Subscribe. All that really helps the channel. I really appreciate it as well, because it's really hard to make videos in Orlando with all the competition. So I appreciate all you choosing this one to watch. Entering into the New York area proper, you get the Torture Fair. It's like at a Renaissance fair that you would see all over America, but themed to torture. I absolutely love this. And in the middle of the scare zone is going to be the entrance to the tribute store. Of course, this is an attraction in its own. It's almost like a haunted house without any of the scares, with the amount of things. The Quiet Place and Ghostbusters are represented inside of there, so be sure to check that out, because yeah, it's awesome. Even if you don't buy anything, you should always go through the tribute store. That's what I said. Over in this corner is probably going to be the 3 houses that are closest together, at least the entrances. Here is the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, themed after the movie of the same name, and it does a fantastic job of following the plot. Really good puppets, just so good. I love the sets, they're huge. At one point you go through the actual firehouse. It is so good. Top 3 for me for HHN 33. Oh my God, it's so good. I can't wait to try it again and again. Over here is gonna be another of our IP houses. It's Insidious. I don't know anything about Insidious. I've never seen the movies, but to me, not knowing anything, I kind of thought it was a little weak. It just kind of felt like a haunted house if you don't know anything about the IP. So take that with a grain of salt. As I said, I don't know that much about Insidious. I did enjoy it, but it was by far my least favorite house of the event this year. Triplets of Terror is a theme where these triplets decided to murder their own family, and then they replay that on the anniversary every year. So kind of like backwoods theme, basically. Great sets that you're walking through houses and different yards and everything like that, with the triplets continuously murdering the different family members. Very creepy. And of course there is the Universal Express. If you want to skip the line, there's 2 options. You can skip it once, or you can skip it unlimited. Obviously, prices vary per day and everything like that. So yeah, that is an option. All right, and around the corner is going to be the Quiet Place themed food, where you can get a clear theme to the nail that sticks into the girl's foot in the movie. That is hilarious. This is also kind of like a little walkthrough, kind of a little themed area. The entrance is just down to the right as you're leaving the New York area. Also, Louis Pizza is another place where you can get the Pizza fries. You do not need to exclusively go to the former Kids Zone Pizza Co. area for those pizza fries that we all love and have known for many years. They are about $11 these days. Still a pretty good deal, I'd say, and a really good pick-me-up for some quick food. But moving into San Francisco, we have a house and a scare zone in the Fast and Furious location. It's going to be maybe one of my favorite ones. It is going to be the Major Sweets Candy Factory. The premise behind this one is that you're taking a tour through a candy factory, and the candy is disfiguring and killing all the kids, basically. It is so creative, all the different ways that they've been mutilated and everything. Absolutely love it. Candy just plays a different role, being so sinister. And the great thing about this house is it has closed Fast and Furious for the time being. You'll not be able to do that attraction. As you exit, you actually right enter the Blumhouse scare zone, and it's okay. It has a bunch of properties from the Blumhouse characters that you know and may love. And right in the middle there, you have the Major Sweets confectionaries. As we mentioned, Harry Potter is open for the event. It does close early, but the Dementors take over, and they're very creepy during the day or night. Let's take a look at what they're up to during the day. Even it was really creepy. Wouldn't say it's a priority to do this if you have done it before, but it's nice to slip in there for just a few minutes and maybe see a fire-breathing dragon while you're in there. Unfortunately, there is only one show this year. They did not get the Lagoon show up and running, having a special Halloween version of it, as that just opened after being repaired 2 years ago from a storm. The show that is there is absolutely necessary for you to watch. It is going to be Nightmare Fuel Nocturnal Circus. It combines a circus theme with magic, sexy women, sexy men. It's a little bit for everybody. Lots of fire, lots of pyro, and a woman who hangs by her hair and spins around. I'm not even joking. It's incredible. It's gone from a show that in its first year, a few years ago, I saw once, had no desire to watch again. And now, every time I come, every night, I'm gonna have to see it at least once, if not more. And here is a look at the bar menu. It's the same one that we saw earlier over in New York. So yeah, exact same menu, especially cocktails and draft beers. Cook Can Bloody Murder IPA, that sounds fun. And an Oktoberfest, that's also good. Out on the water is going to be another food location. Here it is at the Portofino Bridge. A Goblin pie. That sounds good. Mini apple pie with cinnamon sugar and a bloody raspberry jam, and pumpkin guts, butternut squash, and zucchini noodles. Ooh, sounds good. Neverfeel is going to be playing daily, 8 p.m., 9:30, 11, and 12:30 a.m. I highly suggest trying out the 9:30 or 11 p.m. shows, because those are the ones where the rest of the park is going to be the busiest. Be aware, it only allows in 1,300 people. How do I know that? I was the 1,300th person today somehow. That was a wonderful coincidence. And yeah, so you might need to get there pretty early on a busy day to actually get into the venue. So things have changed a lot this year, how things are set up. In previous years, they moved around a lot, but this year they have definitely moved a bunch this year. So this year, there are 2 houses that are back there to the left of the Men in Black alien attack. And so you're going to be walking back there. There is a restroom back there if you need it as well, and a bar and everything like that. But basically, it's like a mini Midway when you're back there. So you have Goblin Feast, which is basically, you know, goblins are taking over and murdering you. It's okay. And then Universal Monsters, Internal Bloodlines. And I think it's pretty good. I'm just a little tired of the Universal Monsters. I think they need to move away from it for a few years and let it be. But always enjoy them. As I said, I'm just getting a little tired of it after, I think, like 5 years now of Universal Monster houses. But try to do these both right away. This is what I went to for my 3rd and 4th house, and it worked out really well. It seemed like the crowds were just following me, and I was able to get through things really quickly. Of course, on a busier day, a lot of these tips might not even help. Our next house is going to be Slaughter Cinema 2, which is the sequel to the first one that was back in 2018. By the way, if you want to do the next 2 houses in a row. I highly suggest you do the next one that we show you first. It just works out better and more efficiently with the exit ramps. But anyways, Slaughter's Limited is basically like, I think like 12 or more little mini houses. You have such favorites as Mummy, Strippers, Blood and Chum. It just keeps on going on with just different little vignettes of haunted houses. I absolutely love it. I loved it last time. Really good scares, really good sets, and highly suggest doing this one. Honestly, this is the one that you want to do, in my opinion. Might not be the best one, but it might be the most fun of all the ones here at Halloween Horror Nights. There's only one entrance over here. It's helped traffic flow a lot, it seems. So there's not just lots of people in one area, but our next one entrance is going to be all the way just before we get to the Quickie Mart. And here we are, the Museum Deadly Exhibits, which is basically they have this stone called the Rotting Stone that basically unleashes hell all throughout the museum, and things come alive, monsters come alive, and monsters are attacking you as you go through the museum. So lots of different artifacts from all around the world as you go through it. I like it. Maybe like 6 or 7 out of the 10 houses. Still really enjoy it. I'd love to see this rehashed in a few years. I think it could be done better, and it'll be interesting to see what they do in the future. Nothing is going on in The Simpsons this year. No chainsaw people, as we mentioned before. They're all at the front of the park. Of course, I've only been talking about the food items that are exclusive to Halloween Horror Nights, but most of the restaurants are open. Some of them close early. Most of the food stands that are specific to HHN do stay open pretty much all the way up until 2 a.m. Swamp of the Undead is going to kind of be a Louisiana zombies as you go through it. Obviously, it's very wet right now because it's raining, but even when it isn't, they make it kind of feel like a swamp in this first section, which is really cool. It's always a fun, dark scare zone, one that you kind of don't have a chance to ever really hang out in because of how narrow it is. It's okay. Probably my second to least favorite scare zone. Really, the only 2 scare zones that I really enjoyed were the Torture Fair and the Demon Queens. So a little bit of a weak year, I'd say, for the scare zones, but that's okay. As you exit the Undead Swamp, you do have the Mercedes de los Monstruos themed booth, and then the bar as well. Let's take a look at those menus. And then finally, you have Mel's Die-In, which, as you'll see in a moment, has merchandise this year. And right across from the other bar is the HHN bar, which has a stand-your menu that we've already seen before. But it's another location for you to get those drinks. With all that done, let's go look at the Triplets store in detail, and of course the Universal store as well. And wrap it up and give you my final thoughts of what I think of this year's event. And here we'll take a quick look through the tribute store if you want to see a more in-depth view of all the theming and everything. Go check out a vlog that we'll release sometime next month. Lots of Little Boo merchandise. Lots of Ghostbusters merchandise. These are cool, these signposts, bags, t-shirts, glasses. We have Mel's Die-In merchandise for the first time ever, which is pretty cool.
I didn't know that's who you're talking about.
Look at that slammer pose. Kind of have that neon graveyard theme here. That's very cool. If you've seen the tribute stores before, you know that they're really well themed. I think this one kind of is my least favorite. And they're still going really hard on Little Boo for the third time in a row. Everyone loves him. Halloween Horror Nights, mini backpacks, Little Boo, plushes. And then we're into a Quiet Place themed area. Of course, we have candles, Quiet Place shirts, merchandise, some treats.
Is this labeled correctly? $71?
Yes.
That's insane.
And a train. I knew somewhere during Horror Nights we would see a train. Thought it'd be in the house, but it wasn't. It's in the tribute store. They have these cute Chucky popcorn buckets. He's so cute. No Chucky Scare Zone or house this year, but you still love them. Yeah, this looks awesome. Love the different posters. And that's a tribute store. As I said, it's kind of like a walkthrough and also a shop all in one. Not that many treats this year, just that one case of treats. So very low on the treats, and you exit through the subway. So let's go check out the Universal store. Most of the merchandise we've seen already in the tribute store. Love the Ghostbusters there, the Frozen Empire. And here's the centerpiece. Love the eyeball moving there. That's creepy. Lots of hoodies. But yeah, all the same things. In addition to all of the different IPs that you can get here in the Universal Studios store. Insidious, of course, the red door being featured. And they have weekly magnet releases, apparently. Did not know about that. That's pretty cool. They are a die-cut one, though. Not my favorite, but still cool. And here are all of them if you want to try to get a bunch of them. They're pretty big, though. They're like twice as big as the normal magnets. So, I like this little topper thing here. That's cool to cut out. And it is an unknown price. I have no idea how much it is. That's cool. And the candles are $23. A Horror Night scented candle. You have a better view of some of this merchandise as it was very dark in the tribute store. There we go. In there so that I could like sign in its package for $25. That's not bad. First they have lanyards, a little Boo purse for $35. That's very cute. I love it. More of that little Boo merchandise. They have a lounge file style backpack, but it is not lounge file. And the sweatpants for $50 with little Boos down the leg. That's super cute. And these are just little Boo plushes for $30. Very cute. Little Boo hat. They had these before last year. They're kind of like a bucket hat one right here. $30. And that was Halloween Horror Nights 33 here at Universal Studios, Florida, at the Universal Orlando Resort. How's this year stack up about the other ones? I've been visiting since 2017. I don't think this is the worst year. Definitely don't think it's the best year. Probably a little bit below average. Still means it's a great time. Like HHN, it's just a cool atmosphere if you're into this type of thing. And all houses are decent. I did like the Insidious house a little bit more the second time. Still probably possibly my least favorite. I don't know, but I have to think about it. The Monstruos of Latin America didn't really wow me, but what I liked about Insidious the second time through was how long it is. It's a really long house. It just keeps going. It has smaller rooms than a soundstage instead of really giant sets, so I guess that's why it's so long. But anyways, that's all I really have to say about the event. Get down here and try it out. I'm also gonna be making my way to Hollywood for the first time, so if you wanna see a vlog from there, go check it out. Not gonna make a tour or anything, just gonna vlog my experience there. I'm honestly going because they're gonna have a weekend house again, and I loved that house 2 years ago, so I had to give it a try over there at Hollywood. So like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any additional questions I didn't answer for you, put them down in the comments below, and I'll do my very best to answer them for you. Thanks for watching once again. This has been Alex.